Hi, I'm Joel Richardson. I'm here with Reverend Joe Amico. From Tabernacle Church in Salem, Massachusetts. We're going to talk a little bit about this month in Tabernacle. So, Reverend Joe, I hear we got a Spanish Heritage Month coming up.
Yes, Salem is observing a national event which is called Hispanic Heritage Month. It goes for the month of September 15th through October 15th. The reason it goes mid-month to mid-month is that on September 15th there were 5 Latin American countries that declared their independence at various times. And so they all will be celebrating their independence during this particular period. So we at Tabernacle Church, being an open and affirming church that is inclusive of all people, regardless of race, ethnicity, age, sexual orientation, abilities, want to also celebrate and recognize the Hispanic Heritage Month as well. We're going to do that in a couple of different and unique ways for us as Tabernacle. This is a first for us this year. Many folks saw our doors during June for Pride Month, especially after the massacre in Orlando, and folks really appreciated seeing the rainbow doors and their symbol of standing up for the LGBT community and being with the LGBT community. And so we're putting up those same doors this month, but from September 15th to October 15th, those doors will be hanging flags of the Latin American countries that declared their independence during this time period. So our commitment to the Hispanic and Latino community in Salem will be to display their flags of their countries of origin with pride and say that we are celebrating with you this heritage and the contributions you make to our society. So on Sunday, September 25th, we at Tabernacle Church will be worshiping with the folks at St. Peter's and Iglesia San Pedro over on the corner of St. Peter's and Church Streets. As many people know, St. Peter's Episcopal Church also has a Spanish-speaking congregation, which is called Iglesia San Pedro. And those two congregations worship together once a month and celebrate communion together. So on September 25th, Tabernacle Church will be joining St. Peter's and San Pedro for an interfaith service which will honor Hispanic Heritage Month.
Where will that be held?
At St. Peter's at 10 a.m. on September 25th. Father Sylvester Romero and I will be co-celebrating the service. We encourage people of any faith that want to join us for that particular interfaith service that celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month. As I say, at 10 a.m. September 25th. We'd be glad to have you come. Because the Episcopal tradition uses wine and the congregational system uses grape juice, both will be available, as well as gluten-free wafers for those that need those. And then later that same day, on September 25th at 5 p.m., there's another unique service happening here at Tabernacle Church. There is in the Episcopal tradition something called evensong. It goes back to the ancient days in England, where in the late afternoon, early evening, there would be a prayer service that was primarily chanting and involved 2 other pieces of music, usually a Magnificat and Nunc Dimittis, as well as perhaps another anthem. We are delighted that Mark Nelson, who is the director of music at St. John's Episcopal Church in Gloucester, Massachusetts, and Mary Jodis, who is the director of music at St. Andrew's Episcopal Church in Marblehead, will be bringing their choirs here to Tabernacle to join our choir for an evensong on Sunday, September 25th at 5 p.m. It's not a long service. It's typically only about a half hour long. It's all sung. It's very beautiful. People don't have to sing. They can just come and enjoy the music. There'll be organ voluntaries. There'll be choir music, and there'll be opportunities for the congregation to sing. So there's a lot going on in the next month here at Tabernacle and with our neighboring congregations, and we hope that folks will want to come join us. Now that it's fall, our church school is back in full swing as well. We have classes for everything from toddlers on up through junior high school. We are starting a new confirmation program this year. We are combining with First Congregational Church in Swampscott for our confirmation program, and it's for 7th through 12th graders. So if there's any folks out there who've been thinking they might be interested in joining a church or having their youth join a church, and they're between 7th grade and 12th grade and would like to know more, they're certainly welcome to contact us here at Tabernacle Church, 978-744-3164. Talk to myself, Reverend Joe, or talk to the administrator, and we'll get information to you.
How does that work? Does the child get, or the complement get confirmed to the Swampscott Church, or the Salem Church, or to both, or how does that work?
That's an excellent question. The two classes will be coming together for educational purposes, but we'll be having confirmation at each church. So folks that are associated with Tabernacle will be confirmed and join Tabernacle Church. Youth who have been attending Swampscott and be a part of their congregation will join their church.
Okay, sounds like a great idea. And that way, you know, maybe you get to know some of the people in Swampscott, and they get to know us, and that can only be good.
Exactly, and there's always one of the things that our youth here in this church have always appreciated is getting together with other youth of our same faith, so that they get to know that we're part of a larger denomination. In fact, while we're on that subject, we have another exciting service coming up on October 2nd. October 2nd is celebrated in many Protestant churches as World Communion Day. And on that day, we recognize that folks all over the world are celebrating communion at the same time. Well, it happens that this year we had 3 youth from this church, along with 2 of our adults, who went to a national youth event in Orlando, Florida. As a part of that event, they did service projects, attended lots of workshops. We also had a couple of other youth from the area who joined our youth when they went to Florida. And one of those was a young Syrian refugee. He did a workshop at the National Youth event on what it means to be a refugee and what it's like for him to live in the United States. It greatly impacted the youth and the adults from our church who were in Orlando at the event. They've invited Jade to come speak here at Tabernacle Church. So on World Communion Day, October 2nd, 10 a.m., we'll not only be observing communion for that Sunday, but our youth and the Syrian refugee will be presenting the highlights of their experience when they were at the National Youth event in Florida.
Well, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it'll be a great time.
It goes to show you that, you know, I think some people say, well, you know, gee, I went to church when I was a kid, but it doesn't seem relevant, you know, to what's going on in the world today. Well, gee, what could be more relevant than a refugee situation in the world we're living in today?
That's exactly right, Joel. And one of the things that our denomination, the United Church of Christ, has been doing is working with refugees. In fact, that's how this young refugee got to this country, is that our denomination sponsored his family coming here when their lives were at risk. And so he will talk about how dangerous it was and all of the harm that they escaped by coming here to the United States. And then I think it's up to us as citizens here in the United States to talk about what other ways can we welcome people and help people and protect them from their harm in their other countries.
Wow, sounds like, I mean, I would think many people in the community would want to come to hear that particular topic.
I hope they do, because I haven't yet got to hear him. I've met this young man before they went on the trip. But when our youth and adults came back from Orlando, they were just so excited about the workshop this young man led, and they said everybody in our church, in our community, needs to hear him.
Now, I know we have the parking initiative going on in October, of course.
Yes, October, of course, is a busy month in Salem, and so Tabernacle does have volunteers who we park cars in our lots on Saturdays and Sundays to raise funds for the church with all the visitors who come to town. But there's a couple other events that'll be coming up as well.
Even more, wow.
Even more. I tell you, that we have so much going on this fall.
Wow.
I am so excited. Our missions group will be working on another Habitat for Humanity house on October 22nd, this time in Hamilton. So if anyone would like to come help work with us on these projects, we do welcome folks that are not part of our congregation to be part of our ongoing service projects. And then, of course, November 12th is our annual Friendship Fair. And what I love about our Friendship Fair is not only is it a great opportunity to visit with our neighbors as they come in to take part in the rummage sale, the silent auction, the luncheon, but all of the proceeds of our Friendship Fair go to other nonprofits in the Salem area that service other people in need in this community.
It's a chance to get some real bargains too if you're a shopper.
That it certainly is. That's right.
So we got the fair. The fair's coming in November, and anything else you can think of, Reverend Joe?
Well, I think those are the major things. Of course, we always have worship every Sunday at 10 a.m. here at Tabernacle Church. And we welcome all visitors. And we are an open and affirming congregation. So we are open and affirming of all, anyone.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Joe, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you, Joel.